everyone. Welcome back to my channel Be Wise Money Wise. So this is Divya and I'm an NISM certified financial advisor. I'm here to share my knowledge on financial awareness and investment options. Firstly, thank you so much for watching my first video. I'm glad you took time and commented as well. Thank you for your encouragement. To all the viewers who have not yet watched my first video, please go take a look at it because I have explained some basics of financial awareness and you will be able to better relate to the session in case if you look at it first. So let's get started. I want to discuss two most traditional and commonly opted investment option by majority of the Indians. So one is a savings account, the second one is FDs and RDs, so fixed deposits and recurring deposits. Although the interest rate that is being offered by these two investment options is considerably very low, but majority of the Indians opt these two investment options because of lack of financial awareness. Also, they are not even willing to take that marginal risk involved. So that is the reason these two are very famous in India. So before starting to discuss, let me explain two terms that I will be using very frequently in this video. So the first one is liquidity and the second is volatility. So liquidity means it is the ease with which an asset or a security can be converted into ready cash without affecting the market price. In other words, it is the amount of money that is readily available for spending or investment. So here in this case, asset can be anything. It can be amount that is available in your savings account or a bond or a security. What is volatility? Volatility is the measure of the rate of fluctuations in the price of an asset over time. So basically it is an indicator. What does it indicate? It indicates the level of risk that is associated with the price changes of a security over time. This slide shows the interdependency between volatility and liquidity. Volatility is the measure of how drastically a market's prices change. A market's liquidity has a huge impact on how volatile the market's prices are. Lower liquidity usually results in a more volatile market and causes prices to change drastically. Higher liquidity causes a less volatile market in which the prices don't fluctuate as drastically. In other words, lower the liquidity, higher is the volatility. Higher the liquidity, lower is the volatility. Savings account is the most oldest and it is the most common form of savings. Majority of the Indians have a traditional mindset that they don't want to experiment with their hard earned money. They think that savings account is going to be the safest available option because they prefer it over any other investment options because the principal is going to be safe no matter how much interest is gained. So because they have this kind of a traditional mindset, they don't experiment on any other investment options, although the interest rates offered by the various Indian banks is very low. Let us see some of the cons and pros of savings account. Easy to open. You have to go to a bank with some government issued ID proofs like PAN, Aadhaar, passport and a checkbook, and you can open a savings account easily. You can as well open an online savings account. High liquidity. As we already spoke about liquidity, because the savings account deal in cash, you don't have to worry at all. Also, you won't face any kind of complications to use your money at any point of time. Accessible. Money in a savings account is highly accessible. You can just use your debit card, go to an ATM or a bank to make a withdrawal. You can as well transfer your money easily online or by using a mobile application. Let us take a look at the interest rates offered by the various banks in India. So we can see that none of the Indian banks are offering an interest rate of beyond 4%. Minimum balance requirements. You are supposed to maintain a minimum balance of around 5,000 to 10,000, which varies from bank to bank, without which you will be levied a penalty if you don't maintain that minimum balance. So it means that a portion of your money is always blocked from being used. Impact of inflation. When you keep your money in the savings account, you may earn interest, which might be balanced out by inflation over a period of time. In my first video, we have discussed the impact of inflation in our lives. So, given the scenario like India, where the rupee value is reducing by 7% every year, it is not a wise decision to invest in savings account. Also, if you observe the trend over the last 30 or 40 years, for every decade, I mean 10 years, the interest rate offered on a savings account is being reduced by 3%. So you never know when it might become 0% for a savings account. So already developed nations like Australia, Japan, they offer 0% on a savings account. Because India is also a fast emerging country, it is a fast developing nation, so it might soon become 0% interest rate on a savings account. After seeing the cons and pros of a savings account, what I mean to say is that although sticking your money in a savings account is not going to offer you high financial rewards, it should definitely be a part of your overall plan. How can it be a part of your overall plan? Probably you can plan an emergency fund in your savings account. So what exactly is an emergency fund? So most of us, we are too much encouraged by the advertisements like Amazon Great Indian Sale, Mintra Sale, etc. So although we don't need certain things at the moment, we keep buying and piling it up, and when an emergency situation, like be it a medical or otherwise, comes into picture, we will be cripplingly short and we might be forced to borrow or use a credit card. So instead of landing in such a situation, it is always better to create an emergency fund. So an emergency fund will act like a protection against such a possibility. Or fixed deposits is another investment option which is traditional and it is available in the market. So in this kind of an investment option, basically you will be needed to deposit a lump sum amount in the bank, and it is for a chosen tenure. So maybe it can be for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, and interest will be paid on the lump sum amount. So basically senior citizens who actually want to earn a regular income after retirement, they prefer investing in a fixed deposit because it guarantees safe returns, because it is free from the volatility of the markets. Those set of Indian investors who actually don't want to trade their hard earned money even for a marginal risk in favor of getting higher returns, they usually go with this kind of an investment option. But if you see the interest rates that are being offered on the fixed deposits, it is not at all promising. So young investors should not go with fixed deposits, because this is the time they have to trade with their money to earn better returns. Cons and pros of a fixed deposit. Fixed returns. At the time of investment in a fixed deposit, you will have a clear picture of how much returns you are going to get on your investment. It is going to be nothing more or nothing less than the expectations. It is going to be fixed. Definitely the interest that you are going to get on a fixed deposit is on a higher side compared to the savings account. Low volatility. Fixed deposits are safe from the market volatility and it will earn you decent returns over time. Loan facility. Banks provide the facility to take a loan against the fixed deposits to meet any kind of a financial emergency. Your deposit acts as a security against the loan taken. One can take a loan of around 75 to 95% of the FD amount. Again, this provision will vary from bank to bank, and same is with the interest rate on the loan. Sweep in facility. Banks offer a sweep in facility which allows the depositor to interlink his or her savings account with a fixed deposit account. It facilitates the auto transfer of surplus amount from savings account to the FD account. Advantage is that it allows the depositor to earn FD rates on your savings account, and you have the option to break the FD at any point of time and utilize the amount. Less liquidity. One has to stay invested for a particular period of time. Taxability. Interest that is earned on the fixed deposits are taxable. So the tax is levied based on the income tax slab you will fall into. Premature closure charges. If you are going to break the fixed deposit before your tenure, you have to pay a certain penalty. Impact of inflation. Assuming average inflation rate in India to be 6% over a decade, you never know, the interest earned via a fixed deposit might be eaten up by the impacts of inflation. To fixed deposits, even the recurring deposits work in the same way. So it is also one of the investment options that are available in the market for risk averse Indians. So those set of Indians who are not willing to risk their hard earned money. So basically in this investment option, you will be needed to deposit a certain amount of money every month for a tenure, I mean like for a period of time. So although it is a safe and a guaranteed investment option that is available, but I don't suggest it for young investors who need to be aggressive at this point of time, because this is the time when they can avail a maximum return on their investment. So this option is suggested only for senior citizens who actually depend upon their retirement income. Let us see some of the cons and pros of a recurring deposit. Same like a fixed deposit, even the recurring deposits offer a fixed guaranteed returns. Because the recurring deposits don't have much relevance to the market scenarios, the volatility is going to be low in this case. These recurring deposits will allow you to deposit amount at any point of time. Unlike a fixed deposit, you don't have to invest a lump sum at the start of a recurring deposit, and you can manage everything at the comfort of your house via a net banking facility. Although recurring deposits provide guaranteed returns, but the interest rate earned via a recurring deposit is lesser compared to a fixed deposit. Taxability, you will be deducted 10% from the interest that you are going to get out of your recurring deposit if it is more than 10,000 a year. No withdrawals are allowed from a recurring deposit account before the end of your tenure, and just in case if you will have to do so, it might attract penalty or lower the interest. Impact of inflation, same as fixed deposits, even in case of recurring deposits, over time the inflation can erode the value of those savings. Assuming 6% inflation rate on an average for a decade, the interest earned via a recurring deposit might be evened out by the impact of inflation. So far in this session, we have seen savings accounts, fixed deposits and recurring deposits. So bottom line is that inflation will reduce the value of your savings because the prices will typically shoot up in the future. So assume 10,000 rupees under your bed. Will it be able to buy as many things as you could afford right now in after 20 years? So definitely the prices will shoot up and inflation will eat up your purchasing power. So what I mean to say is that savings accounts, FDs and RDs will pay you interest, but will they be able to balance out the impact of inflation? So basically you have to be a wise investor in choosing a wise investment option which will be able to give you higher or better returns in spite of the effect of inflation. Thank you for watching this session till the end. I hope I'm able to deliver useful content via this channel. So just in case if you have any questions on this current session, please drop your question in the comment section and I'll reply you back. In my next session, I will discuss on another investment option, insurance. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, bye bye. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Be wise, money wise. Thank you.